Cupcake Day. Everyone likes chocolate, and who doesn't like cupcakes? The first mention of a dessert with the qualities of a cupcake was in American Cookery in 1796, and the first time the term cupcake was used was in 1828. There were two different definitions of cupcakes, also known as cupcakes at that time. One type of cupcake was so named because it was baked in a container that looked like a cup. The other type of cupcake was so named because of its recipe, which was measured out by the cup instead of being weighed. For instance, a recipe may have contained a cup of butter, 2 cups of sugar, 3 cups of flour, as well as eggs, and these were sometimes baked in cups, but were also often baked in tins. It's also No Beard Day. Best way to observe it is if you have a beard, celebrate the day by shaving it off. No Shave November is coming up next month, so you'll have plenty of time to let your beard grow out again. Either way, just make sure you get rid of your beard. If you don't have a beard to begin with, then you're already celebrating the day, and you can help encourage someone with a beard to celebrate the day as well. Also on this day in history, 1967, first space probe to enter the atmosphere of another planet. The Soviet probe Venera 4 entered Venus's atmosphere and sent back info to Earth for about 90 minutes before it lost contact. In 1867, Alaska became a part of the U.S., and in 1851, Moby Dick was published for the first time. Happy birthday to Zac Efron, Lindsey Vonn, and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Also, the guy that invented the light bulb, yeah, he died on this day. I'm Andrew Caravella. This has been The More You Know.
This is KCAA.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the greatest real estate investment show ever. Here's the flip-flop investor himself, Todd Bayer.
Hey everyone, how we doing out there today? This is the Flip-Flop Investor Show, and I am your host, Todd Bayer, the Flip-Flop Investor himself. For those of you that don't know, we get together every single week. We talk about real estate investing here in the Inland Empire, and we get together with a local investor and talk to them about their experiences in real estate. Today we have a very special repeat guest, and sort of the man of the hour, Thomas Chappelle. How you doing today, Thomas?
I'm doing fine. And yourself? Thank you.
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Yeah. So had you on 2 weeks ago? It wasn't even that long ago.
No, it wasn't that long. About a month and a half ago.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Dang, how time flies. Yeah, maybe it was. I don't know. Month and a half. We'll go with that. We'll stick with what Thomas says. We were talking about back then how you were starting this new club, the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club.
Yes.
And, this was all before it was all going to go down. But last night you had your first actual meeting. So I think we all want to hear how it went because you had a pretty good turnout.
Yes, I did. It was tremendous. It was more than what I had expected. If I had thought that I could did this 5 years ago, somebody told me I would have been, nah, that ain't true. But a lot of people came out and really supported and made it more than what I had really expected to be.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's you had a much better turnout than we did our first time, because the first time we did our club meeting, the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club, we had 4 people show up. Actually, we had 4 people that paid to show up, and I think we had 6 people that were there that were just helping out to set up the thing.
Exactly.
So, yeah, at least you, because these aren't free. You obviously have to spend money to for the room and for the food and all that good stuff.
Exactly.
So at least you got some money back out of it. We lost money on the meeting for a while.
I don't know. I guess I'm a good promoter, I guess.
That must be it, Either that or I don't know. Your meetup group already has over 1,000 members on it, so it's catching up real fast.
Yes, it is. It's been tremendous. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, the people was very responsive. Mm-hmm. The people showed up. They really enjoyed it. Got a lot of feedback on meetup.com and whatnot. So, hey, let's just go keep this train rolling.
Hey, that's how it goes. I mean, just keep it going. Keep showing up. That's the rule, right?
Exactly.
We had, before the whole thing went down, though, and there's probably a lot of people out there thinking right now, why do we need a Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club? These was kind of the controversy leading up to it. We got presented with a lot of people telling us this, and I think a lot of people don't understand it. I get people telling me they're like, well, I'm just going to go start a white investment club. It's like, why? We already got one. I mean, we already have a club that includes everybody, and some people don't understand why there'd be an Asian group or a Hispanic group or a black group. So I want to get your opinion. Why is it that we need a black group?
Well, you understand one thing. Look at it from this perspective. If we take the word black out, it's really an extension to the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. It's more like the Phoebe chapter. You got the Phoebe Long Beach, the Phoebe Pasadena.
Yep.
That's all it really is, and it's just for the different demographics because you have some people that feel like they don't belong or have the right credentials, so you're giving them a platform to showcase their talents.
Yeah.
Whether they come to any white club or any mixed club or just their own clubs and whatnot. Purpose of it being black is it being hosted by me, which I'm a black guy. If you haven't figured that out by now. So that's it. But if you take the word black off of it, it's just an extension of the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club.
Yeah, and it's just a group for people that, I mean, you have a different culture. I mean, than what we do. It's the culture of your meeting is different from the culture of our meeting. We
Exactly.
Me and Steven, we're middle class white kids, so we're from Moreno Valley. We're raised differently than you are. You growing up in Atlanta, right?
No, it's actually between Atlanta, New York, and everything else. So I've been around, but the point is that when I first started coming to the Inland Empire, I felt out of place.
Okay.
I felt like I didn't belong, And it was a while before I started talking to you guys because I was really afraid of you guys. Because everybody like, oh, they hard money lenders, they expensive, they don't talk to nobody. So it was just that's what that was being told. So yeah, it made me intimidated. But the one thing is that I became consistent on coming and showing up. And then one day I found the deal, and I met a guy at the club, Asian guy, and I said, take a look at this and tell me what you think. He looked at it and said, it's not a deal. And my gut kept telling me it was. So one day I picked up Steve's card and I said, look, I understand you guys are real busy. You guys are like the upper echelon of real estate. But if you can let this peon know, hey, take a look at this deal and tell me what you think. And he looked at it and said, man, you need to get this deal. Now, that's how it blossomed. I mean, it opened up the doors for me to be able to communicate with you guys and not think that because you guys are upper echelon that you wouldn't talk to anybody under you guys.
Right.
And that's what happened. But the thing you have to understand with the different demographics of people, everybody's language is different. The way I speak to you is different from where I speak to somebody that's in my same, ethnic group.
Yeah, it's just the way things go, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's it's a thing that actually exists. Some people want to deny the existence of different cultures in this state, in this country, but
it's better to deny than say you're racist.
That's true.
And racist is, to me, it doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have we bleed the same blood. It's red. You know what I'm saying? Our makeup is pretty much almost the same. We got a different part of each other in us. I got some white in me, some Asian. We got a part that we all one big glump of whatever.
Yeah. That's what makes the United States different, and I don't know if you've been to other countries, like you've been to like another.
No, not at this moment. I'm planning on it, but not yet.
Like it's funny when you go to if you go to India, I mean, there's a lot of Indian people there, and they're sometimes these cultures are a lot less accepting of outsiders.
Exactly.
Than people in America are, and we talk about how racism is the real problem here, and it is, but it's considering like other places of the world, it's actually better than some places because
true.
They've even recently, like in the Netherlands, I remember there was a thing where a bunch of refugees had gone up there, and it created a huge problem, and there was a huge, racial war going on because of it. And I don't know, I don't remember the exact news story, but I'm sure some people out there remember it better than I do.
Exactly.
And it was, it happens all over the place. But here, when it comes to success, and you and I have talked about this a lot, where me and Steve we're wearing T-shirts and flip flops and shorts, and we're presenting to a fairly professional, affluent group of people. And you've always told us like, there's no way, like the people that come that are black, they're looking at us saying like these guys are dressed like
hippies,
surfers, a couple of goobers,
Exactly. And the way we were taught is that when you do business, you have to dress, suit, tie, business attire, because no one's going to take you serious. And I told you guys in the past, I said, yeah, you guys look like Laurel and Hardy. You bounce off of each other. You really don't have the structure. You just go for it.
Right.
And it works for you guys. You know what I'm saying? But other people from my ethnicity will look at you like, oh, these guys don't know what he's talking about, so we never coming back. But they don't understand that instead of looking at the outer exterior, they need to look at the end, and the end results is what's coming towards us. You guys are giving out information that we don't know,
Yeah.
and we want to know.
Sure.
So it's hard for us to sit back and say, okay, how can we fit in? You know, how do we belong?
Mm-hmm.
What can we feel like it's okay for me to come and ask you for help? Sometimes that's hard. So when you get a club like this, you know, and the tremendous part is that the people been asking for something like this, because everybody's got to have, you know, their own little community that they can feel comfortable in.
Yeah.
You know, and it's nothing wrong with it. It's not racist. It's just that that's what it is. But when we put a title on it like black, then you got some demographics getting upset because it's like, why is it like that? Are we outside? We can't come in.
Yeah.
No, that's not it. It's open to the masses.
Right.
But it's giving those who feel like they don't have a platform to showcase their talent. That's all.
Yeah. And, you know, it was funny. I heard a thing in the news the other day where white parents were conflicted about having their kids wear a Black Panther costume for Halloween.
Exactly.
I'm like, that's ridiculous.
That's what it is.
I'm like, did any black parents have an issue with their kid wearing a Spider-Man or an Iron Man costume for Halloween?
Nope.
Like, no. Like, what's the big deal with this? I don't get it. You know, I don't know. What's your perspective on that?
Silly.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Why? Like, I just call it white guilt. Yeah, like, white people like feel guilty for like wanting to be a part of like black culture, but I think in the United States, it's like, it's amazing that we can actually experience all the different cultures that exist within the world.
Exactly.
You know, like, there's a lot of amazing things you can do, especially here in California. We have pretty much every culture available to us here in California.
But the biggest part is you already part of the culture. I mean, if you want to get personal, look at Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
He's making music that would have been strictly for blacks.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I remember that movie 8 Mile.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
You know, so you just got to get out of that mentality and stop thinking about race and just become one, because we all piggybacking off each other.
Yeah.
We all learning from each other. There's nothing different about anybody. Everything is we doing. Somebody else done did it. We piggybacking off of them, and all we need to do is help each other out.
Exactly.
That's all.
Yep. So it's just about working together, which, I mean, that's really what these communities are all about anyway, right?
Exactly.
So you got your club, and I know you guys have like sort of a different cadence that you take the meeting in. So, like, talk about how you go about the meeting a little bit. Like, you started it out last night, introduction, that sort of thing.
It was kind of all over the map because I was more excited and amped and whatnot. Wasn't nervous. It was just that I didn't know what the field was going to be like, the response and whatnot, and it was tremendous. But the message got across, and I was jumping all over the map, like, you know, doing it for the first time versus just watching somebody else doing it. When you standing up, you want to make sure you get everything you want to get out, but then sometimes you forget. Just like when we closed last night, I didn't tell anybody to go ahead and go to Meetup to give us the stars and, you know, make comments. Right. I had to re-announce that. Then I had to re-announce who the guest speaker was going to be last night for next month. But it just flowed. I can't say anything. It just flowed, and everybody was feeling it, grooving with it. They took it and ran with it, you know?
Yeah, and you did like a haves and wants segment, right?
Yes,
Kinda like
I did.
What we do.
Yes, I did that. Mostly what I did is that all the clubs that I have attended in Inland Empire, I kind of incorporated everything. Stuff that I did from the Pasadena Phoebe, from Bill Tan's club, from you guys' club, from Tessie's club. I mean, I just took what you guys did and applied what belonged to me, and I threw the rest away and then made it my own.
Yeah, that's what we did. That's what we did when we started the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. We took, you know, all the things we liked about certain meetings and, you know, didn't bother with the stuff we didn't like. And, you know, the one thing we always wanted, and like, it was such a weird thing, like, one person does this, and this is Karen Hall's meeting out in Orange County.
Okay.
Where she takes a break in the middle, you know, before she brings up the guest speaker.
Right.
And it was that during that break time that we made the best connections in the room.
Yep.
So we always were like, we need an intermission. We need like a little moment in the middle where we can just sort of let people go talk. It's kind of tough wrangling everybody back together when it's time for the main event, you know, but that's the best part. And people tell us at the meeting all the time how great that part is.
Yeah, I did that too, but I told them, I said, look, we're going to take a mission because I got to give me something to eat. I was hungry.
Oh,
but
man.
it worked out, and I really didn't have any problem bringing people back to their seats, but everybody was alert. I mean, everybody was really into it, and I brought people up on stage and introduced them to my community, saying that if it hadn't been for these people pouring into me instead of sucking the life out of me, I wouldn't be standing here today. So I was letting those who were new to know, hey, this is what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to find you a community, a network of people that you can grow with, that you can walk with, to encourage you. Like I tell everybody, I do this for 3 reasons. One, I come because I build my database. Second reason is because you never know who you're going to run into, because everyone don't do this full time, and you always expect to receive something.
Yep.
The last reason, third and fourth and foremost, is the fact is that it encouraged me not to quit.
Yeah.
Listening to all the stories of successes and losses and whatnot, and successes again, is saying to me, I can do this. And it's not a pipe dream that, okay, all you're going to do is just make money and that's it, and not realize there's going to come a time where you're going to make a deal that you're going to wish that you didn't make.
Yeah.
And
It'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah,
I'm just like, yeah, but it's going to happen eventually.
Exactly. So now you won't be disappointed if you do make that incorrection, that you can follow up and say, okay, instead of me quitting, I'm going to go ahead and redo it again.
Yeah.
And I didn't know when I did the meeting last month at you guys' club and I was interviewed that I had my first deal. It was a wholesale deal with Jim Keller. And I didn't know that it affected him the way it did. It really, I let it go. I didn't think nothing else about it, but he brought it up in the meeting. He said that we were supposed to do a deal, and I was supposed to get $5,000 for a wholesale deal, but I ended up getting $2,500. But I never looked at him in a bad way. I never wanted to say anything bad to him, put him down, anything like that. My thing was I had a choice. Either I go ahead and be mad with him and never talk to him again and try to ridicule him in front of everybody, or just continue to keep on doing what I'm doing, keep moving and making deals and get to the other side. Like I said, I'm too far in the ocean to where I can't swim back to shore. I got to see what's on the other side.
Right.
So my energy is better off continuing to being persistent at this versus saying, oh, I quit, I give up because the deal went south. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people quit because the deal went south. That's not when you're supposed to quit. That's supposed to make you stronger.
Right.
And you get back on your horse and you do it again.
Yep.
Like the Nike slogan, just do it. You know? So that's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great slogan. I wish we could use it ourselves, because so many people come. I mean, and you're going to experience this, like being a club runner. You're going to see that people come and it's like 10% of the people that come actually put out the effort that that you're talking about, but 90% of the people are going to come and they're going to give up because there is a steep learning curve in this business. It looks easy from the shows you see on TV,
right?
And people think, oh, I could do that, but all they're seeing is the management side of it, which is anybody can go down to Home Depot, pick out some tile, and go take it back to the house. I mean, that's actually fairly easy to do. That's
right.
And so many people are afraid of that. I don't get it, but that's the easy part. The hard part is finding the deals and then selling them, evaluating them properly. That's the hard part. And I think that's the stuff that nobody sees on the TV shows.
Right.
And that's what turns them off. So when it comes time to okay, I want to be a real estate investor. I got all my books. I got all this great stuff. I got some money in my bank ready to go. Now I got to find a deal.
Biggest problem, they get disappointed because they think it's all peaches and cream.
Yeah.
And like last night after the club had ended, I had to kick people out the room because people was continue networking and whatnot. It was a beautiful thing, like we do at most of the clubs. Once club is over with, those who stay, we all get together, we network some more, and sometimes deals get done at that time. And it was good to see that. But the people that leave, I understand you got a life,
right?
But sometimes you leave too early for what? That's when you really miss. Because you left too early and don't know the real side of the story. You get the romantic side, being in the club, networking, all these people. But when you go home and still people are staying around, that's when the real fun begins.
Yeah.
That's the
it's
stuff
more
intimate. Yeah, it's more intimate than it's harder when you're doing it at the club because you got like 10 people behind waiting to talk to one person.
Yeah, and I wish we could get more people to stay for that after segment because, but I get it too. I mean, there's a lot of people that have a job in the morning they got to get to, and, they got to go home to kids, relieve the babysitter. Exactly. We sent out a survey not that long ago, and a lot of people, we actually got quite a few responses, way more than we expected. And a lot of people were honest about it, saying, like, I'd love to stay, I just can't because of XXX. Put your own answer in there. But, sometimes it's kind of like, well, maybe next time tell your babysitter, well, I'm coming home at 11,
Look at it from this way.
Be tired. Go to work tired the next day,
Look at it from this way. If your boss said we got a deadline and we got to stay extra hours, you're going to tell your boss, look, I got to go home?
Yeah. You got to tell
them. Or you're going to invest into your own future.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told everybody last night, welcome to your future.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to possibilities.
Yep.
Welcome.
Man, that's good. I like it. Makes me excited. I want to go to the meeting now. No, I couldn't go because I had a family thing going on last night. I would have gone, though.
Yeah.
I wanted to be there. But I'll probably go next month.
Yeah, well, see, you guys are the ones that inspired this. It wasn't me that asked for this. You guys brought it to me, and the fact is that you guys took upon a chance to say, hey, we understand this guy. We see what this guy's bringing. We see that this guy's heart, his drive, and his determination not to quit. Why not let him run it?
Mm-hmm.
He's the most consistent guy we've seen, just like when you told me about the founder. That's who I am. I'm Raymond Crock, just in a different body, different skin.
Yep.
I'm persistent. I see my future. I want my future. I need my future.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make my name count.
Yep.
I want to make it great. So I got to keep being persistent, keep pursuing. I can't stop.
Yep, I hear you. So, okay, we're gonna go we're gonna shift gears a little bit. Instead of talking about the club, let's talk a little bit about you as an investor. So, you've been in this a while. You've been kind of around the Southern California area. You've been doing some real estate stuff for a while. If you were to go back and talk to yourself when you first moved out here, when you first got into real estate out this way, like what would you tell yourself to do differently going back now?
Wow, that's a good question, man, because I didn't even ever thought that I would get this far.
Like what weren't you doing then that you look back and saying, man, had I just done this?
What I wasn't doing wasn't trusting anybody.
Okay. How so? How do you mean that?
Well, one, didn't know who to go to, and then finding out whether the information they give me is legitimate, are they just telling me stuff just to get me out of their face because they really don't have the time, and just put more energy in. Because when I went to Fortune Builders, I didn't know what to expect, but I did think that they was going to drop the boom on you talking about they was looking for money.
Yeah.
And that's what I was hoping that nobody was saying, okay, all I'm looking for is your money, and not giving you any substance to make you want to continue to do this.
Right.
So the thing of it is when you don't have any money to start, you think that you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I realize is that, if I would have thought differently, that it's not about money. See, I've seen the documentaries on Dr. Buss when he bought the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that he was in real estate, but I didn't know it was, doing apartment complexes. He had rental property.
Mm-hmm.
Also didn't know that he bought the Lakers with cryptocurrency.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So he used other people's money to buy the Lakers as well as using cryptocurrency to buy the Lakers. And that was amazing, and you tend to think, okay, well, you have to have certain criteria. You have to have the money. You have to have the poise. You also got to have the networks and the people behind you, and you don't really know and understand. So it was a real learning curve for me.
Mm-hmm.
So the struggle in learning that and accepting that made it better for me versus saying, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah. So going back to in the very beginning, what was your day-to-day like trying to find deals? Because that's,
Well, the hardest part was trying to understand what was a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Until I heard Bruce North speak, I didn't know what a deal was. I was just trying to find a way just to make some money.
Yeah.
Wholesaling. I try to patent my dollars.
Yeah.
Knowing I was looking for 5,000 and trying to get 10,000 and maybe trying to get 15,000, and the numbers just wasn't working out.
Mm-hmm.
And I get mad because I was working along with this guy that used to work with the Norris Group, and he took time out to make sure that I got it right, but he didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So no, I didn't have it all together, and I was on the verge of quitting, but I couldn't. I was just too engulfed into doing this because I was in my late 40s, going into my 50s, couldn't go back to corporate America. I was on workers' comp, things like that. So who's going to invest in me? I got no choice but to continue to go forward with this. So, yeah, I just started digging and digging and digging and just letting it flow instead of me trying to fix it and doing it the wrong way. I had people to show me the right way.
So, like when you were, let's talk about your marketing a little bit back then. Like when you were you doing mailers or anything like that?
Never done mailers.
Still haven't.
Still haven't.
So how were you doing it? You were just getting on the internet?
I was just getting on the internet, going out, knocking on doors, which was a big, huge, scary thing because you see this big black man coming knocking on your door, and I'm in the prominent Latino community. No, he's not here. He's not here.
Yeah.
And I know I'm talking to him and whatnot. But the thing is, that was the scariest part because you don't want to be rejected.
Yeah.
You thinking that you got all your I's dotted and your T's crossed, and you go in there show them that, hey, I went on Property Radar, know that you in pre-foreclosed, and trying to show, no, we got it straight. We mods and okay, but that was the hardest part. But that's what mostly I did was coming to the clubs, networking, on the internet, Craigslist, Trulia, Zillow, all them guys, and knocking on doors. I'm not as good as Charlie Hustle, but
Well,
I tried my best.
Hey, he's consistent with that though.
Yeah, that's his niche.
That's his thing. He goes out every single day and he knocks on doors.
Yes.
So he's got a whole crew of guys that do it with him now too.
Yes.
So it's hey, it's one way to do it. There's multiple ways to skin a cat, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah. So now. And of course, back in the day, I'm sure all the people that you were making contact with, you kept it in a nice journal. You had a nice follow up system. I'm sure at the beginning, right?
Oh yeah, I had to learn how to do that because one point I wasn't because once you talk to an agent or a sell by owner, you kind of get discouraged because they don't have anything or they say this don't work and da 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 da. So you tend to I don't want to fool with that person no more because they're not really trying to help me.
Right.
But I understand consistency, and the problem is I kept bugging the hell out of a lot of people. And as they saw that I was real serious, and I had to change the way I speak. The biggest part was I was trying to prove that I was well educated instead of saying, oh, no, I don't know what I'm doing and blah, blah, blah. So now my biggest thing is that, I usually say, hey, I'm new to California and I'm new to California market. It works for me because my number is out of state.
Right.
So it works for me.
Yeah, it does. And it's true. I mean, because I've lived here my whole life, so I can't even make that claim. But you can say that because you are new to here, especially.
Exactly.
Relative to the to your age versus how long you've been here, you're new here.
Yeah. So it was more to me like an embarrassment because, like I said, I felt that I started late until this agent, which was a tax attorney, told me never to say that you started late, and everybody else told me that you started at the right time, but I didn't understand that until he brought it to my attention and said, hey, Colonel Sanders started KFC when he was 66 years old, him and his wife selling chicken out the trunk of their car.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, I won't never say that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some people some people tell me I got started too early. I was 22 years old when I got into this business. So, for me, I always had an issue with the fact that I'm just some dumb kid, and I still get that to some degree.
No, you started right. See, some people are smart enough to know if I would have started this in my 20s, man, I don't know where I would be right now.
Exactly. And that's what I keep telling myself every day when I get up in the morning because, again, I don't have a boss telling me what to do. I don't have a time I have to be at the office. I can show up whenever I want.
Exactly.
But that's also tough. There's some people that are out there that, having that structure already built for them each day. They know what their day looks like. That's comforting and it's easy. For me, it's sometimes actually we had a guy come by the office today. He's doing jury duty downtown. He used to rent our office, and so I got to know him a while. When I was there at the office before we took over their units.
Right.
And so Willie came by. We were talking to Willie for a little bit, just catching up, showing him the new office because we spent all that money on the tenant improvements and everything. So I'm talking to Willie, and he was saying he's working out of his house right now because he was working in another office. Then he moved back to his home, so he has an office there. But he's telling me how hard it is. He's like, every morning, if I don't wake up, take a shower, and actually get dressed for the day, and then walk straight into the office, it's just not going to happen.
Well, see, that's a different niche for a lot of different people. Whether they working from home or they got an office or they working for somebody else. It's hard when you're trying to do something on your own versus you got a time clock to punch. You know exactly what your day is going to be like.
Yep.
But when you're at home working from home or whatever, you get to get relaxed and lazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, what's my next step? What do I need to do now? If I don't do this, I'm never going to get nothing done. You know, but you got to discipline yourself.
Yep.
You know,
It's hard.
yeah, it's hard, but I had to learn that. So now my thing is that I get up in the morning. You know, I wake up. God wakes me up. I get up in the morning. I speak to him on my way going to the gym. I get him to work out for a couple of hours. It clears my mind, makes me fresh, makes my body clear and feel good. Then I can tackle the rest of the world all day. I've got schedules to where I can do other things where it won't hinder me to not continue to do what I need to do. I got it all together. So it's easy. You just got to discipline yourself.
Now, when you're at the gym, you're there for like a couple hours. I know because
Yes.
we go to the same gym.
Right.
But you, do you put on a podcast or anything like that?
Actually, no, I just listen to music and I dance. People look at me like I'm crazy. I'm singing and dancing. They
I
don't
know.
understand.
I'm always like, I don't know you, man. Just go talk to somebody else, crazy man.
Yeah, but I enjoy myself because it's a new beginning.
Yeah.
You know, and you got another day to do something else. Most people don't even get a chance to wake up in the morning. So it's a new beginning for me. So I'm going to take advantage of that and do the most that I can do in that day because tomorrow's not promised to you.
And for those of you just tuning in, by the way, this is the Flip Flop Investor Show. I'm your host, Todd Bayer. We get together every week, talk about real estate investing. We have our guest, Thomas Chappelle, on the show today, talking about his experiences in real estate, for those of you tuning in. Just want to throw that out there every once in a while because I had a guy come to the coffee meetup last month.
Right.
He came up to me and he was telling me about this guy he heard on the radio talking about real estate investing, and he loved everything he had to say. And then after a little while talking to him, we figured out it was me he was listening to. But he gets off work and he can't hear it like at the beginning. He doesn't hear the beginning of the show when I introduce the thing. So he said, you should probably tell people during the show that, who you are and what you do. So
Exactly.
so that's for you. You know who you are. No, but anyway, so we were talking about how hard it is. And do you remember when we had at the club, we had Jessica Lampkin?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so Jessica came up and she talked about like setting her own schedule. And it was actually interesting to me because I've never actually done that. I never sat down and said, 9 a.m. this happens, 10 o'clock a.m. this happens, 11 this happens, and from 12 to 1 this is, I've never done that. I still haven't ever done it. But when she was talking about how she did it, because she worked from home,
Right.
like I've never like my mom worked from home. She was an appraiser. She worked from home. It worked for her, but she did the same thing that
Jessica.
that Jessica was doing, and same thing that this guy Willie that came to the office today. Same thing he was doing. She'd get up, get us off to school and everything, but she would get ready for the day and go straight to her office and start working. That's how she did it. Because if it were me, I would end up in the living room on the couch or something like that, and then 2 hours would go by watching TV or something, and I wouldn't end up getting any work done. So it was interesting hearing Jessica talk, about how she would like set up her day,
Right.
and I don't know. Do you do anything like that?
No, and the reason why, because you never know if emergency comes up. So
Which you got a son and everything.
yeah, so you would have to stop
Yep.
what you doing to go take care of that emergency, or you forgot you needed to be somewhere and you didn't put it on your calendar.
Yep.
So it's easy for me to do it the way I'm doing because it keeps my schedule open for anything that comes out of the norm. Versus me saying, okay, from this point to this point, I got to do this. From this point to this point, I got to do that. No, because that kind of gets your day all messed up because you never know what's going to happen. It could be something, and especially if you're working from home, maybe your pipes burst.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a good thing you're home to deal with it.
Exactly. Maybe your toilet, gets stopped up or something. Now you got to start working to take care of those things, So, no, I never done the same thing either. I just roll with it. I just flow with it. Whatever came up, it came up.
Yeah, but you work from the road. So on your way to Home Depot to pick up the drain cleaner, you're already on the phone talking to agents and all this other stuff.
Oh, that's all I
already
do
know.
all day
Yeah,
long.
I know. I've been with you too long to see. Like, that's what you do. Like, we'll be mid-conversation, the phone will ring, and you'll be like, excuse me. like, hold on, man. I was about to tell you something.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No, it's, that's just how it is.
That's how it is.
But that's the life people want, too, Like, coming into real estate investing. Like, they're working at their desk job, and they're thinking, I would love to just be able to go somewhere right now. Anywhere. And like you have the freedom, you could just go
Exactly.
do something. You could go, if you choose to, you could go work at a coffee shop or something.
Right, which I wouldn't, but
yeah, I know you wouldn't do it. You don't drink coffee.
No.
Right? Yeah, I didn't think you did.
No.
I was actually going to ask you on the way over here if you wanted to go get some coffee. But I was like, wait a minute, I don't think Thomas drinks coffee.
no alcohol, no coffee, no smoking, no drinking, nothing. I'm just normal.
You're just a normal guy.
Yes. Whatever normal is.
Yeah, I guess. Actually, that's probably abnormal considering like most people probably do at least one of those things.
Yeah, I have a problem with women. I'm sorry, people. Okay?
Oh, there you go. Women's the addiction. It's got to be something. Right?
Exactly.
Nobody could not be addicted to something. I met a guy who was addicted to model airplanes.
Well, hey, sometimes that works.
That's an expensive hobby, apparently.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I met another guy who was addicted to what is that? Skydiving.
No, I couldn't do that.
No?
No.
Why not?
I thought about it, but I'm a daredevil, but not that kind of daredevil.
No, it's just too much, huh?
Too much.
What would it be for you? Like, is it the flight up? Is it the actual jumping out of the plane part, or is it my parachute going to open?
That's the one.
It's the parachute.
It's the parachute.
So you can do everything else.
I can do everything else. The parachute.
I think that's most people, right?
Yeah, I'm a daredevil. I've got the wild side. I was listening to Howard Stern one time where he had a bunch of people that skydived, but they came skydiving in New York, and they ended up on the roof of the studio.
Okay,
but they were naked.
What? Oh, it's Howard Stern, so yeah.
Okay. And that was the funny part because he said they came in the studio live that way. So I'm like, wow, Howard Stern, yes.
That's how he does it, though. He's a shock jock, I'm trying to be the shock jock of real estate radio, but when you're a one man thing, it's tough. I need to get somebody like what's that lady that does all the she's the
his co-host?
Yeah, the co-host.
Robin.
Yeah, Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robin. She's I need somebody to like add some color to the conversation.
She what kept him in balance and whatnot. I like listening to him when he was on.
Yeah, is he not? He's not on anymore.
No, he's gone. He retired.
I thought he went on to like a satellite radio or something like that.
They post some old stuff,
Yeah. Huh. Well, too bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So skydiving's out for you.
No, it's out because I'm scared of parachute. If I'm gonna die, let me die peacefully, not like that.
Yeah, not panicking on your way to the ground. Yeah, no. Yeah, got to be addicted to something though, right?
Exactly.
But I mean, now you're basically addicted to real estate. So
real estate now is more of a hobby. I like teaching and speaking. That's my biggest thing. That's my niche. I love speaking now,
especially after last night.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You got that new drip right there in your arm last night.
I mean, it's a cool when people want to listen to what you have to say. Mm-hmm. It makes you feel like, okay, you know what you're talking about. You're making sense, and that's the best part about this, that you can sit there and develop people and watch them become what they want to become, and you can turn around and say, you know what, I had a hand in watching them develop and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Just like when I coach.
Yeah.
I watch the kids grow and things of that nature, and I know, it makes you feel proud that you were part of the person that helped stir them up.
Yeah.
I
think this is why Stephen and I, we always tell people to try to take on a leadership role. It's going to force you to keep doing it.
Exactly.
But then also you get this new sense of pride, in helping other people achieve what they're trying to achieve.
Exactly.
And we're one person. Like I can't be everywhere at once. But if you have a bunch of people out there that you're trying to help bring up in this world and bring up into this business, they can be out there doing all these other things, and they come to you because okay, I did that thing. What's the next step?
Exactly.
And it's cool to see somebody develop in that way, because it's there's no like one size fits all program. I can't just write a book right now and say this is how you do it. Follow it step by step.
It won't work.
It won't work
because everything is not tailor made for what's tailor made for you is not tailor made for me.
Yep.
And that's what you guys did to me. You guys, I mean, especially Stephen. Stephen was hard on me. Stephen would tell me, and he thought I wasn't serious when I came to him. I said, I want to learn. He's like, nah, he ain't serious. So he'll give me a bunch of stuff to do, and he figured, well, okay, he's not going to do it, so I got him off my shoulder. Mm-hmm. But I did it, kept coming back. Then he gave me something else. I did it. I kept coming back.
Yep.
He gave me something else. I did it. He come back. He said, okay, I got to do something with this guy because I can't get rid of him. He's like a fly that's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard, too, because, you have everybody starts at a different level.
Exactly.
Like there's a lot of people that come to the club that want to be an investor who've been a real estate agent for a while. So they know real estate pretty well. They know the glossary of terms, right? They know how a deal works. They know what escrow is. They know title. They probably know a few people and contacts in the industry, but, they've never actually done a real estate investment deal. So that's the hard thing they have right there. They don't know how to find them, which is weird to me. I think it's strange when you have an agent that's been pretty good at being an agent that doesn't know how to find a distressed property.
True.
I think that's strange, but they're out there, and we don't know where to start these people sometimes. I read a book. I started reading a book the other day about starting your own personal private bank. But I'm reading this book, and the first half of it is all the fluff stuff you tell a new person that's new to the industry. You can make money doing this. You rah rah rah. And I'm like, let's get past the fluff. Oh my god, how many how many pages of this? I was like, how much content is actually in this book right now? And
that's the biggest thing, because I have to tell agents, I need to find a property that I can put at least $30,000 to $70,000+ of rehab work in. Because when you tell them, okay, I need to come in at a discounted price, somewhere that connection doesn't fit, they don't get it. But if I tell them that I need to put $30,000 to $70,000 worth of rehab work in it, it's kind of like a lost shoe, because now you're trying to understand what's $30,000 to $7,000.
Yeah, and that's a different number to a lot of people.
Exactly.
Because for me, not from in my experience, but people I've talked to, when I tell them a rehab's going to be $30,000, they think we're doing carpet and paint.
Exactly.
But I'm like, well, okay, you're a homeowner. You've probably hired a contractor to do these things for you in the past, and contractors charge homeowners that live in the home while you're doing the work a lot more than what they charge me to do stuff, because my contractors work in vacant homes. It's just much easier for them, so they charge me a lot less. They can leave their tools around if it's going to be a multi-day thing. They don't have to clean up at the end of each day, put down plastic everywhere.
Exactly.
They can just spray happily on the walls. It's they get it done much faster too.
Yeah. So the biggest part with some of these agents, they say, all you gotta do is put 15 to 20,000, and you can make. No, sweetheart, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, 15, 20,000. No. I mean, for me, 15, 20,000 would get you a decent amount of stuff in a house, but that's probably going to be a lower end home. We're going to be using some lower end fixtures, things like that. It's not going to be high end.
Yeah,
no way.
The biggest part that they don't understand, that there's three things that they don't know, which is the full plumbing, the full electrical, and the foundation. Yeah. And you looking at whether the supporting beams, are they rotted out, anything like that. Those are the things that agents don't understand. So when you say $30,000 to $70,000, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It ain't the carpet and paint and fixtures and things like that. That's easy. That's what 10,000 if you want to go there, 5,000. But when you're talking about a full rehab, it's going to cost.
Oh yeah.
It's not something that you can just do overnight. It's going to cost, and it's going to take at least 20 days or so.
Absolutely. Oh, at least. So yeah, I mean, for right now, a full rehab for us, it's probably going to be about $45,000. Because cost of construction's gone up.
Right.
These guys are getting more confident. They have more work coming their way, so they're charging us more. Thanks a lot. But they it's going to take 6 weeks.
Exactly.
At least. That's if it's in fairly good shape once we do the demo and take out all the stuff we want to get rid of.
Right.
It's they're not as quick as they used to be. We used to be able to get them done a lot faster, but we're running into a lot of suppliers now that don't have supplies. They don't have enough. They ran out of a certain thing. We have to pick out another material, and now we got to go down there and okay, let's get this quartz, or let's get these cabinets, or whatever things have been running out lately.
Exactly.
Doorknobs. I don't know what it is. Doorknobs have been hard to get lately. We can't get any hardware that matches. That's been tough.
Exactly.
If anybody's out there trying to buy the black square handle style things, like the door handles, good luck. They're the lever style, not the actual doorknob, but the lever style. They're hard to find right now, and all the places that do have them, they're charging triple.
Exactly.
Yeah. So good luck if you want those things. We've had some success on Amazon. Actually, a lot of people we know are starting to buy a lot more materials for their job sites on Amazon, because you can have them delivered straight to the house that you're working on. So it's kind of nice. But you've I'm sure you haven't done a full on rehab yourself though yet?
I haven't done one myself, but working alongside with you guys, I got to learn a lot. I've seen a lot, and I got a better chance of understanding. When I first started, I didn't know what I was doing.
When are you gonna take that leap?
Taking it soon.
Yeah,
taking it real soon. I'm ready for it. But like I said, the biggest thing is that, my niche now is doing what I'm doing, which is speaking. I'm falling in love with it over and over again.
Yeah.
I was a kind of shy. You probably wouldn't believe it. Yeah, I was kind of shy.
As a kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was, because, when you try to articulate your conversation, you want to be able to enunciate your words and speak correctly. And I spoke with a slang, and, sometimes I, stuttered and had a sis and wasn't saying my words correctly and people couldn't understand. But now I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. That's good, though. I mean, it's like I said, taking on that leadership role, it's just going to push you even further. Because, pretty soon you're going to demand this upon yourself. This is what's going to happen. You're going to say, I have to do the next thing,
right? Because
everybody that's listening to me needs to know that it's okay to do the next thing.
Correct.
You got to be willing to make that leap of faith. And we've had to do it a few times. When we started the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club originally, we were just Rehab Loan Group. We had the hard money loan company, and that's all we were doing. But Rehab Loan Group was a good sized business. It was our biggest business we had built up until that point. But then it was it got time. It was time to do the next thing, and we weren't flipping houses anymore at that moment. So people that come to the group and the club, they want to do wholesaling, they want to do flipping. That was the majority of the people that came. So we're like, we're gonna do some flips. So we started getting back into it just to kind of reinvigorate our the drive within me and Steve, because we got kind of complacent doing loans,
right?
Because it's pretty simple, and but the problem was it was like a full-time job, and you start to realize we're working for ourselves. This is a job. This is not self-employment,
right?
This is not our money working for us. This is us working for money,
right? And
so we wanted to make that shift. So we went more to the flipping model, trying to what do you call it? Divide the work up amongst more people. Because when we'd done it before, it was always just him or I, or both Steve and I working together. But we were like, no, we want to make it try to divvy up the workload to a bunch of different people and take less from it. We wanted, and that's when we brought in the JV program,
right? The
joint venture program, because we wanted people from the club to be able to learn from us and learn from the team and see how it's all done. And it was. Now that we've gotten to that point, now we're we're ready to jump off the next cliff and do the next thing.
Well, you have to evolve. That's the biggest part, because if you don't, then you get complacent. If you start getting bored and you're like, okay, do I want to do this again? And you want to try something different to challenge yourself. That's the biggest thing. You want to challenge yourself. And me challenging myself now is going into another realm that, that's going to launch me to become who I am. Like I told everybody at the last meeting, I want to make my name great. I want to make my name count. I want everybody to know before I leave this earth who the heck I am. You know what I'm saying? So what's my next challenge that's going to get me there? That's what I'm looking at now. So with the club that's going on now, it's going to launch me into another plateau, because a lot of people are crying for it.
Yep.
A lot of people need it, and a lot of people want to understand it, and they want to do it the right way. And the only way you're going to be able to do it the right way is that you got to come, you got to learn, you got to build your community, and you got to be hungry enough to want to do it, because it's more harder when you do it yourself versus doing it for somebody else.
Yeah.
Because you can get sick and tired, like, oh, I want to quit so bad, blah, blah, blah. But you're counting on that paycheck.
Right.
But if you're doing it yourself, you got to eat, you got to hustle. Because if you don't hustle, you don't eat. You know what I'm saying? Bills don't get paid, kids is crying, this, that, and the other, and you wish Calgon could take you away, but Calgon ain't going to take you away.
Yeah. I mean, it sort of takes that, you have to get to that point in your life where you got bill collectors calling, and that's what pushes you to take it to that next level.
Exactly.
So many of these success stories you hear, these rags to riches stories, that's what it is. I mean, we've had people that come to the club that at one point were homeless, but just wanted to push, and they kept pushing and kept doing it. And, now they're successul because it's just that drive. And you have to, for me, I always get pushed when I'm in those types of moments where we're cash poor, we're really low on cash because, we just spent a bunch of money doing something, so now we're like, okay, what do we have to do to push it even further right now? And we get to those places every once in a while where it's we got to push, and that's where the creativity comes from us. That's when we're like, okay, what if we did this? Otherwise the ideas we have are just ways to make the business run a little more efficiently or more smoothly, but it's not a way to generate more income. It's once we start getting to those places where we're pushed into a corner and we're like, okay, how do we get out of this corner right now?
And I think that's the biggest thing. You got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. You got to get in that corner. You're getting tired of this guy hitting you in the ribs, hitting you in the stomach, trying to hit you below the belt before you actually come out swinging. And once you come out swinging, now you are a real major threat because now you're more focused. And you can see where you need to land your next punch to knock this person out. So you can win.
Yep, and you learn how to avoid getting pushed back in that corner again because you learn what happened.
Exactly.
And that's this business. It's a fight every single day, and a lot of people think it's they see the romantic version of it, or they'll go to one of these seminars where you see the guy driving the Lamborghini, getting out of his private jet, and like you think that's what it is, but the people that I know in this business that are actually successful in it, none of them own a Lamborghini. None of them have a private jet.
But who wants to?
It's like you're taking all your possible income that you could invest and putting it into something like that.
Yes, who wants to? I mean, if I'm going to do that, let me rent a car for a day, drive it around the track, and okay, I'd have had my fun with it.
Yeah,
I don't want to keep one.
I mean, you and I are bigger guys. We got no business getting into a Lamborghini.
I ain't that big now.
I mean, okay, we're bigger than your average guy, because we both have the football player build, so big shoulders, we can't fit in these cars.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to do that. My dream was, okay, let me get a Lamborghini. Only reason why I wanted because I like the doors, just like I like the DeLorean. That was the only reason why I like the DeLorean.
Yeah,
because of the doors. Otherwise, it's just a regular car.
Yeah, a heavy, slow car at that. The DeLorean wasn't that fast.
But the point is, this is not hard. It is fun and easy. If you really put your mind to it, you can make this work for you. You don't have to work as hard to do it.
Yep.
And it can be real fun.
Yeah, and what I like about this business is that you get to know a lot of people in it. And when I was really pushing, on my own side doing it, I had a lot of people working around me, and we'd all be having our own common goal on each thing. So one person be out there, knocking on doors. One person would be sending out mailers, and these are the people that are finding the deals, and they're bringing them to me. And it was, then I would take it from that point, and it's like, now I got to put the money together. I got to get the contractor ready, then get the realtor going. That was my job. So it's nice to have these like groups of people that get together, and you can, you have a team.
Exactly.
And, you can do what you want with it from there. You can throw a holiday party together if you want. It's your own little group. Have fun with it.
Might as well.
Might
as well.
It's not fun making money alone.
No.
I've done it.
It's boring because then you're like, okay, what am I going to do with this money? So you want somebody that you can share your life with, and they can share the experience and be happy for you as much as you be happy for them. But the thing of it is, make it fun.
Yeah.
Make it count. Make your name great. Go out there and just do it.
I hear you. I agree with you. Preaching to the choir here. No, that's why we started the Patreon group, because we want to, like, a lot of people think it's like this thing where we're teaching people how to invest in real estate, and we are to some degree, but the idea of it too is we want to enjoy the time with these folks. We want to get together with the people that are successful in this business, and we just want to have a good time too. So, we'll do a thing once a month for the people that are at a certain level. And, then we have the trip to Vegas once a year, and we have the mega resort trip once a year and everything. Like, these are things we just want to do to enjoy it with the people that are around us. So
exactly,
that's part of the fun. So, you know what? We only got a few minutes left. So why don't you want to plug your club real fast?
Okay. Our next meeting is going to be on November the 19th. It's really every third Wednesday of the month because the 21st is on a Wednesday, and that's the day before Thanksgiving. We changed it to the 19th, so it gives you time to, if you want to go out of town or you got people coming in, that you can prepare for the holidays. Now in December, we're not having a club. We're going to combine our clubs. It's the Inland Empire and the Black Club going to come together and do a Christmas party in December. That's on the 15th, right?
Yeah, 15th of December.
Right. So we'll do that, and then come January, we're going full throttle. We're going to roll and rock this thing.
All right. We'll have to figure out how that's going to work out with the holiday party. But, for those of you that want to come out and check out the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club, we have our next monthly meeting on the 24th of October. That'll be at the Mission Inn in downtown Riverside. We also have our Saturday morning coffee coming up this Saturday. That's 2 days from now on October the 20th. That's going to be at Arcade Coffee Roasters in Riverside off of University in Chicago. You can get more information on the meetups, both the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club and the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club by going to meetup.com. On meetup.com, you just go there and type in Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club or Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club, and we'll pop right up. And, sign up, come on out, check out our event.